And we're live. Hi, everyone. It's Mike Brock joining you from Los Angeles here in Southern California, where we remain in the midst of this heat wave. I'm reminded of the apparently apocryphal story of a question that was posed to the British Prime Minister Harold Macmillan, who was Prime Minister in the late 50s, early 60s. The story goes that he was asked what were the things which were most challenging to the statesman, and Mr. Macmillan was well. It's been said that he replied with events, my dear boy, events. But it's one of these. It's like one of these little pieces of wisdom you hear in sort of like in the world of like political philosophy and science. Although I think the researchers who've looked into this have suggested that there's no evidence Mr. Macmillan ever said this. But I mean it's it's an interesting observation nonetheless, and that's why it has so much purchase and mimetic power in the intellectual political culture. And it needs to be said that our world has been overtaken by events now. I think we're we're in a we're in a lot of trouble right now. Collectively, I mean, human beings as a species, we are at a point now where our capacities to limit our options into the future are quite great. And so, I mean, one must consider uh, what one can do. What can one do in a moment like this, right? Because it is. I mean, it's true. I mean, like these events are certainly outside of almost any individual's control, including the control of the people who are now perpetuating this. Because you see that the world is a big, complex, dynamical system. Um, as I was getting ready for this stream, I was updating myself on the happenings with the political situation in Washington, and it seems that there are murmurations coming, through the through the through the whispering halls of however the hell information gets out from the inside of this administration into the press and into the media, that the Trump administration is trying to figure out a way to have peace talks with the IRGC, that they might be struggling to figure out who they should in fact negotiate with. Um, one imagines that they're currently perplexed by the situation that the IGRC is continuing to carry out successful attacks against various targets. Apparently also missiles launched with sufficient range to reach the remote island of Diego Garcia, which obviously is concerning. That would suggest that the IRGC is in the custody of weapons that could reach Western Europe. So the situation is very bad. It's a very bad situation. Uh, I mean, the people in power, the Trump regime, and in particular the Marco Rubio clan inside that regime, that's playing out their childhood fantasies of vanquishing the world of their foreign enemies one by one. The Iranians, the Venezuelans, and then the Cubans are. I mean, they're somewhere on the way to like learning that things aren't so simple. That when you go to war with someone, that the war, the thing about war is that like your enemy gets a vote. They get a vote. They get to decide how they act in response to your actions. I mean, when the general norms of you know like a general peace, absent armed conflict, are set aside, the things that happen in the world become somewhat more dangerous and unpredictable, and like and one risks, of course, misunderstanding, the 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 disposition, the ultimate disposition of their enemy, right? So, I mean, one of the ways in which it's very obvious that these right wing war hawks, the John Boltons of the world and all the other the Marco Rubio fan club fucking people, some of my former friends of the world, like don't really have a coherent view, right? I mean, on one hand, they'll say, "Hey, well, I mean, the mullahs cannot be reasoned with. They will the second they have a nuclear weapon, they will drop it on Tel Aviv. It's what will happen, and they don't care that they're destroyed. It's all they want to do. It's their religion, you see." And I mean, that's interesting that the people who sort of take that view of the Iranian regime, and I mean the Iranian regime is evil, don't get me wrong. I mean, I would like them to fall, and I would like a democratic Iran to emerge. But I mean, like, if you were to assume that of your adversary, that your adversary just wants you to die even if they die, then like one might assume that they're going to fight to the death. So I mean, the idea that like one could negotiate with them, which they claim cannot be done, which they're now trying to do, right? I mean, remember, the JCPOA was like a big mistake because you can't negotiate with the mullahs. So, I mean, these people right now, with their fantasies of cleaning up the world for their, whatever the fuck world order that they're sort of imagining, this sort of like weird sort of like areas of like sort of regional powers around the world, areas of influence that they imagine, and in their backyards, just a return to monarchy and feudalism, basically. I mean, that's what these motherfuckers that make up the Republican Party, that make up, that Peter Thiel. I mean, Peter Thiel is just another version of this. He may not have the same visions like the rest of them, but like generally speaking, they're all sort of aligned that what we must first do is get rid of these international institutions, and certainly institutions of democratic governance, because the stupid masses will do things like vote for taxes on the rich and safety regulations on AI and biomedical research. God, heaven forbid that they would like people would be concerned about like the very same people that like ruined the mental health of our children with their engagement algorithms on social media. I mean, like, how dare they stand in the way of this technological progress? Do they not see how much wealth we're creating? I mean, guys, I mean, this is fucked. I mean, something has to be done, like sooner rather than later, because I mean, the global economy is going to implode. Guys, I understand that the economy has appeared to be resilient, that the stock market is down, but not, maybe not in like a panicked sell-off yet, but I mean, guys, the energy shock that is entering the global trade system right now, and almost certainly, I mean, we're going to see like guerrilla warfare. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing underseas data cables start getting cut by China and Russia and other actors, and telecommunications blackouts, piracy, complete destabilization of secure shipping around the world in the coming months. I mean, guys, I mean, like, we have opened Pandora's box. This is very bad. I mean, if we don't do something and do something quickly, I mean, the world is going to descend into a kind of chaos into which, pick your nightmare about what can become possible in a world like that. This is on all of us. This is on all of us collectively. We have all failed, all of us. Every human being on this planet has failed. Every American has failed. They have not done their part to take care of their own country, to take care of, each other. The Russian people have failed to, enact sufficient responsibility to, bring under control this fascist element that enslaves them. I mean, like, look, I mean, it's no one's fault that they're oppressed, but it's their responsibility to resist oppression. The responsibility of all dignified people is to resist oppression wherever it is. And I mean, I'm not saying, I'm like, oh, again, this isn't about blame. It's not about fault. It's just about, it's about responsibility and acknowledging that we have responsibility and that we have failed writ large, and that our world is now in significant danger, and that, like, if you're a parent, as I am, you're sort of the center of your normative vision should be focused on your children, right, and your children's children, and the future that, like, just might not exist anymore for them, because we are allowing our world to fall into flames. I mean, it needs to be said right now that if you're an American citizen, and I'm in, like, look, I'm an American. I mean, look, I'm an American patriot. I'll die for this country. I will die for this country. I love this country. This country is bigger than me. I think it's worth saving. I love the people of America. I would like the people of America to come back together and remember who they are. Remember that what this country is, what this nation is supposed to represent. It's certainly failing at living up to its values. I mean, it always has failed to live up to its values, but at this particular moment, it is failing in a very, very specific way that is very dangerous and imperils our collective future. So, this regime has to end. It has to end. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, should you be an American who cares about the continuation of your way of life, of your liberty, of a safe world, if that is in fact something that you care for, that you care about, I might suggest most people clearly do. I mean, I know there are nihilists amongst us, but I suggest you ignore them now, because they're not the majority. They're certainly not the majority. Those of us who care right now, and you should care. I want you to care. Please care. I am begging you to care, because I care about my children, and I care about your children. I care about your children even if you don't care about your children. That's what I care about in this moment, right now. You need to convince this Congress to impeach and remove Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, the entire cabinet, and we must figure out. I mean, there's a line of succession. There's a line of succession rules. I mean, someone's going to need to be made speaker that we can all get behind. Maybe a coalition of Democrats and Republicans can shake hands. I think it should be Jerome Powell. I think Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, should be elected the Speaker of the House. We should then impeach him and then allow him to become the interim president. Why? Because I think he's the only institutionally responsible American leader right now. And, like, he has demonstrated that responsibility to the Federal Reserve, and the world trusts trusts him. I think even I think the Europeans will trust him. I think even the Chinese will trust him. I mean, we need an American leader that everyone can trust and isn't overly political. I think that's Jerome Powell. That's my suggestion right now. That's what I would do. There'll be libertarians and people who have this issue with like fiat currency, and they'll say he's like the most evil motherfucker because the US dollar is this evil thing. I mean, we need the US dollar to continue to work right now. If the US dollar stops working, 60% of the world population will be unemployed and we'll probably have a nuclear war. So here's what I think we should do. I think we should make Jerome Powell the interim president. We should and also figure out a way to arrest and set up an emergency prosecutorial commission to prosecute all these crimes and get all these motherfuckers in handcuffs. That's what I think we should do right now because we're in a significant amount of danger. That's my plan. I'm putting forward my plan. Everyone wants to know my suggestion. You don't have to listen, of course. I'm just one guy on the internet who's telling you what I think based on everything I've read and everything I think I understand about the attendant risks that we are currently walking ourselves into. This is my idea. It's just my idea. And so, anyways, yeah, this is where we are. This is where we are right now. Um, we're in for some serious pain, no matter what we do now. But I think that if there's one thing that we should be aiming towards right now is getting responsible people behind the desks of our offices of political power ASAP. I don't. I mean, no one's lived through what we're about to live through. I haven't lived through it, although I've studied history. I think I have some contour of understanding about the general risks that we are about to face, and um, it's not good. It's not good. I mean, you should be on the streets right now, protesting, demanding that the representatives, your representatives, America, in the Congress are supposed to represent you. They also swore an oath to protect and defend this Constitution. Well, it is not being protected or defended right now, and it needs protecting and defending because it is the only thing that could potentially mitigate the harm to come. And I use that word mitigate because we will not stop the harm. Most of it, a lot of it is baked in right now, and God help us all. We are moving into the fire. So with every moment of your life is an opportunity to make a choice, to do something different, to take a different path. If we continue on this path, I can't begin to imagine the suffering to come. It's time to take responsibility for yourself and for your country, and to remind those who need reminding who it is they serve, and who they serve is you, the American people. It is your inheritance. It, if you want a democracy, then act like it. It's not a spectator sport. You are running out of time. We're all running out of time. So I suggest you take to the streets and that you make very clear to these members of Congress, members of the House of Representatives and the Senate, that they have more to fear in you than they have of the president or their donors. That's your mission. That's what you must do. That is what history calls on you to do. That is what you should do. It is the moral thing to do. It is what, if the founders were here, it's what they would want you to do. It's what I am asking you to do, and I am but one voice. You don't have to listen to me. But I mean, think about it, because if you do, you come to recognize that it's what you should do. To hell with the nihilists. Long live the American Revolution. May the Star-Spangled Banner continue to wave over these free lands and prove the anthem true, that this is the land of the brave. Be brave. Do something courageous. Stand up for your country. Risk losing something, because if you don't, you're going to lose everything, in particular your children's future. So that's my message to you. I mean, I imagine some people will hear my voice. They'll watch this video, and they will see a man that they think has come undone, that has given way to hysterics. They may very well think that. I mean, this won't look like a hysterical video in a few weeks, especially not in a few months. The time to act is now, America. You know you know what's right. Act on it. So may may the winds of fate be on our side, on the side of the good, and not on the side of those who would wreck our world and keep it for themselves. Thank you, everybody.